Over the next 3 games, I'm going to be focusing on my main defence in the Queen's Gambit declined, the Tartakower variation. I absolutely love playing this with black. I find it so reliable, and yet it often gives really dynamic counter chances for black. In this game, I'm going to be looking at one of the kind of classical main lines that white can play, and I'm going to focus on the game between Wang Yue and Michael Adams. So here we go. All main line. Now, black plays h6 in the Tartakower. You can play it either after you castle here, or you can play it straight away. It doesn't make a huge amount of difference. I will be looking at games later on where white exchanges on f6 here, but most people play bishop h4 these days. So here we have our starting position, and black now plays b6. So this is the Tartakower variation. It's a very logical move. Black's development on the king's side has been very smooth, but this bishop on c8 is a problem. So black simply makes room for the bishop to come to the long diagonal, and this is a tremendous diagonal for the bishop. There's a bit more to it than that. b6 also is able to support the pawn coming to c5 as well, which can attack white's centre. Okay, let's see how this works out in practice. So, bishop d3. We'll see alternatives to this move. Bishop e2 I'll be covering in the next game, for example. So bishop b7. And knight d7. So the knight supports the knight on f6 and completes development. Queen e2. Now, white has played in a very straightforward way, castling quickly, bishop to d3, queen e2, and here we can see some of the problems. Well, one more problem that black has. It's not just the development of that bishop, it's the development of the queen which is of concern to black. You can see that white has developed very simply to e2. It's a nice square for the queen, and he's connected rooks, and he's preparing to bring his rooks to the d and c files, and that rook on d1 will be opposite black's queen. At the moment, black's queen has no decent square to move to, so that means he won't be able to connect the rooks, which means that white somehow is able to start the middle game before black. So let's see how Adams deals with this. Well, first of all, c5. It's a good move. So black is starting to attack white's centre. White plays rook f d1. Okay, so the rook comes opposite the queen, and so all kinds of possibilities start to open up in that case.